What's an algorithm? An algorithm is a sequence of steps required to solve a specific problem. In this context, the problem is sorting an array. There are lots of algorithms which we can use to sort an array, but in this video we are going to talk about the selection sort algorithm. So let's see how selection sort algorithm work. Let's say we have an array, unsorted array of length 5. We'll compare the element at the 0th index with the element at the second index. Let's say we want to sort the array in ascending order. So we'll put the condition that if the element at the 0th index, that is 5, is greater than the element at the first index, that is 2, we'll swap their value. Since the condition is true for this case, we'll put 2 at the 0th index and 5 at the first index. So our array now become like this. We'll again compare the element at the 0th index, but this time with the element at the first index, that is 0. Again, 2 is greater than 0, we'll swap their value and now our array become like this. We'll again compare element at 0th index with the element at the second index, that is 9. Since the condition is not true, our array will remain same, that is will not do swapping. Now we'll compare element at 0th index with the last element. Since 0 is not greater than 1, we'll not do swapping and our array will remain same. So this is the end of our first iteration, and you can see by the end of this iteration the smallest element of this array, that is 0, is at its right position. In the second iteration, we'll start comparing element at the first index with the other elements, since the 0th index element is already sorted. So we'll compare 5 with 2. Since 5 is greater than 2, we'll swap their value and our array now become like this. We'll now compare 2 with 9. The condition is false, so our array will remain same. And now we'll compare 2 with 1. The condition is true, so we'll swap their value and our array now become like this. So by the end of this iteration, you could see the two elements of the array are at its right position, that is 0 and 1. In the third iteration, we'll take element at the second index as our base for comparison because the first two elements are already sorted. So we'll compare element at second index with the element at the third index. Since the condition is false here, that is 5 is not greater than 9, we'll not swap their value and our array will remain same. Now we'll compare element at second index with the element at the fourth index, that is 2. Since 5 is greater than 2, we'll swap their value and our array will become like this. So the first three elements of our array are now sorted. In the fourth iteration, since the first three elements are already sorted, we'll compare element at third index with the element at the fourth index. Since 9 is greater than 5, we'll swap their value and now our array is completely sorted. If you observe, it took us 4 iterations to sort this array, and inside each iteration there are inner iterations going on. So if you observe closely, you'll see the outer iteration, that is the outer loop. It starts from 0th index and it goes till the third index, that is 1 minus then the last index. So we could say the outer loop will start from 0 and it goes till the n minus 1 index, where n is the last index. And if we observe the inner loop, it starts from 1 plus the starting point of the outer loop. So if the outer loop starts from first index, it will start from second index. So if we represent outer loop with I, the inner loop will start from I plus 1 and will go till the last index. We could represent this logic using the nested loop in code like this. Inside the nested loop, we'll have a condition, and if the condition will be true, we'll do swapping. Now we'll implement the nested loop as I told you earlier. Inside the nested loop, we'll have a if statement having the condition that if ARR index I is greater than ARR index j, Since we want to sort the array in ascending order, we'll do swapping. To do swapping, we'll put the value of ARR index I into a new variable temp, then we'll store the value of ARR index j into ARR index I, and then we'll store the value of temp, which stores the previous value of ARR index I into ARR index j. Now put the for loop to print the new value of ARR. Now let's run the code. Oh, I forgot to call the selection sort function. Let's call it.